In February of 1858, the 6 members of the Subiru family lived in this tiny one-room hovel. It was called Le Cachot because it was a converted prison. The city officials of Lourdes evidently felt that the conditions here were too harsh and primitive for the prisoners. Really, it was little more than a cave. On February the 11th, 1858, the eldest Subiru child, Bernadette, made her way from this place to Massabielle, a garbage dump on the outskirts of the little town of Lourdes. She had come there with one of her sisters and a friend to look for wood with which to heat her family's home. While her friends scampered away, Bernadette, due to her asthma, stayed behind near the gob, a fast-flowing river. She felt a puff of wind and heard a sound. When she turned to see what had caused the stir, she spied a beautiful young woman, clothed in white, and with a yellow rose on each of her feet. Instinctually, Bernadette reached for her rosary, and the woman, who had a spectacular rosary of pearl, began to pray along with her. When Bernadette finished the prayer, the woman smiled and disappeared. Bernadette felt compelled to return to Massabielle, so the next day she came to the spot with a few of her friends. She again saw the lady, but this time the mysterious visitor spoke. "Would you do me the favor of returning for the next 15 days? And then she had a message for the priests. Build a temple on this site and let processions come. When Bernadette brought this message to the parish priest, Father Parimal, she was sharply rebuked. Yet she continued, despite mockery and official opposition, to come. On one of her visits, the lady asked her to dig into the ground and find a spring. When she did so, people thought that she had lost her mind. But in time, water indeed flowed from the spot, and eventually a severely crippled young boy was cured after bathing in it. Bernadette came for those 15 days, and she communed with the lady. But despite the speculations of many, she never claimed to know who this mysterious visitor was. She referred to her only as the lady, or in her own local dialect, Aquero, that one. On March 24th, the eve of the Feast of the Annunciation, she felt an inner impulse to go to the grotto. The lady was there to meet her, and Bernadette felt the urge to ask her name. 3 times she petitioned, and finally the lady looked at her with a serious expression, and her voice trembling with emotion. She said, "I am the Immaculate Conception." How wonderful and typical that Mary should appear to such a poor and humble soul. In her great Magnificat in Luke's Gospel, Mary sings the praises of the God who cast down the mighty from their thrones and lifted up the lowly. Bernadette, who was herself something of a cave girl, was visited by the Immaculate Conception, by the Queen of Heaven, who received the message of the angel in a hovel and gave birth to the Son of God in a cave.